Good morning, everyone. Today we give recognition to Saint Pius of Pietrelcina. So, well, Saint Pius of Pietrelcina, I don't know. Well, do you know Padre Pio? That's the guy. So Padre Pio was a man who lived an interesting life. He's a relatively recent saint. He died in 1968, so not that long ago, and many of us were alive at that time. I'm dating myself a bit here. But for 50 years of his life, he lived with the stigmata. And the stigmata means basically that he had sores on his hands that were there permanently. They were the marks of the sign of the cross, those wounds that Jesus would have had. Now, the stigmata are rather interesting because people seem to get the stigmata in different ways. Some people have them for a very long time. Some people have them for a short period of time. And they're not necessarily things that they would want, because we talk about the stigmata as being a sore on the hand. It isn't something that just looks like a sore. It is the real pain. And so therefore the discomfort that one might have had with a nail being driven through your hand is the kind of discomfort they would have too. Of course, people would have different kinds of stigmata. Some people would have a mark in their side. Some may even just have marks around their head. And they're all recognized as being a symbol of what Christ went through. And Padre Pio went through that for 50 years of his life. In spite of that, he was a man that many people came to for spiritual advice, and he was a great confessor and intercessor for people. He's one of those who made peace, and apparently he's also somebody who not too many people could do it, but he's also a man who was able to be in two places at one time. He was able to bilocate, as they say. I'm not sure why, but some people claim to have seen him in two different places at the same time. Interesting. So he was a holy man even in his lifetime. Today in the Gospel, we look at the Gospel of Luke, chapter 8, verses 19 to 21, where Jesus talks about who are my brothers and sisters. And he says, my mother and my brothers are those who hear the word of God and put it into practice. And that's similar to what I spoke about yesterday. It's important that we live what we claim to live. That those who not only claim to believe in God, but they put it into practice. And it calls to mind those words that we hear at the end of the gospel, at the end of Mass, and those words of dismissal that I have the privilege of being able to give. Go, put into practice what you've heard in the gospel. Put into practice what you've heard in the gospel. You have a wonderful day. We'll see you again. God bless. Bye-bye.